Hi Stampers! Welcome to Great Inspirations. My name is Kim Tolbert and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you for joining me today. As you can see, I have 3 birthday cards that I designed, and I have used the stamp set Enjoy the Moment, which is featured in the current Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. I've used this image. And then the happy birthday is actually from another Stampin' Up! Set called Sweet Ice Cream. But other than the images and the designs, another thing these 3 cards have in common is the designer series paper. And these papers come from the Tidings of Christmas designer series paper pack. And that these cards are not Christmassy. As you can see, the designs are very similar in each of the papers. And they all have an image that is very, very close to this stamped image. It looks like a poppy pod to me. But I decided to make birthday cards because I thought these papers were just too pretty to wait until Christmas. But I do want to show you all the prints that come in this package of designer series paper. And here's one, and this is actually Sahara Sand, although the card I made has crumb cake. But it goes well. So there's the paper I used for this card. And then here is the design I used for this card. And then the cherry cobbler design. And then here's another. And a nice stripe. See, these designs so far could be used for cards other than Christmas cards. And here's a stripe pattern. And this has what could be little snowflakes or stars or just a nice little background for cards for any occasion. Now we're getting into some Christmassy designs, some pine cones and holly. There's some more. Pine cones, the holly, and just some greenery. Some trees. More of the greenery, a few berries. And I think this is my favorite because it incorporates a little bit of that misty moonlight, the blue, in with the evening evergreen and the soft succulent and the cherry cobbler in the, I think it's Sahara Sand. So there's that. And the reason I wanted to show you that designer series paper is because beginning January 1st, Stampin' Up! Is having an offer where you can get 15% off of select designer series paper packs. And here in the catalog, I've got it upside down. But here's some of the papers that will be available. The In Good Taste, In the Wild, and the Pansy Petals, the Sweet Symmetry, and of course the Tidings of Christmas. And then on page 134 is You're a Peach. So there are 9 packs of designer series paper that will be on sale beginning July 1st through August 2nd for 15% off. And I will have all that listed on my blog, as well as the card, the dimensions, the cutting dimensions, and supplies for these cards. But I thought today we would walk through how I made this card. But today we will make one using some crumb cake and some of that cherry cobbler. So for this one I used the cherry cobbler and the early espresso. This is one of my favorite color combinations. And for this one I used the crumb cake with the soft succulent And I'm thinking that is quickly becoming another one of my favorite color combinations. And this one is pretty much the opposite of the one I just showed you with the soft succulent and the crumb cake. Okay, so we're going to need for this card, oh, I'm losing my paper. Need a card base, and this card base is cherry cobbler. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. This piece of basic white is for the inside, and it is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, this piece of Designer Series paper is 5.5 inches long by 1.5 inches wide, and it will be matted on this piece of crumb cake cardstock that's 5.5 by 2 inches. And then this is what we will stamp our image on the basic white, and it is 1.5 by 4 inches. And this crumb cake cardstock is 1 3/4 by 4 1/4 inches. And then for the greeting, you'll need a piece of basic white that's 3 inches by 1 inch. And then the mat for that will be 3 1/4 inches by 1 1/4 inches. And like I said, all those measurements will be on my blog, and I will put a link to my blog in the description of this video. So the first thing we'll do is our stamping. This card goes together very quickly. We're going to use some cherry cobbler ink, and we'll use this image from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set. Just get it inked up. And for the piece on the inside, I'm just going to stamp it over to the right hand side. Set that aside. And we will do that again for the image for the front of the card. There we go. Finished with that. And now we'll do the greeting. There's our stamping. Quick and easy. We'll get our card assembled. Start with the inside. We'll take some Stampin' Seal. And place this inside our card. And if you wanted to stamp another greeting or some sentiment inside, you could do that. I'll put all these pieces together. Let's see. It's our focal image. And then our greeting. Okay, now we can put these on the front of our card. And I just kind of eyeball just a little, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, wherever, wherever you like it. I think right about here will be good. And then we'll adhere the focal image. Oh, Stampin' Up or the Stampin' Seal is not cooperating today. There we go. And again, I just kind of eyeballed it, got it to where I liked it. And now we're going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals to pop up our happy birthday. Oh, I might put one in the middle too. There we go. I just place that right over the focal image. How quick and easy was that? And there you have a nice birthday card to send to someone. And here are the others with the cherry cobbler and the early espresso and the soft succulent with the crumb cake and crumb cake with soft succulent. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Until next time, stamp happy.